Hi everybody, my name is Casey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So here we are on my new island, Tealight, at my entrance, and what we are going to be working on today is the area to the left of my resident services, but here I will just show you some of my entrance that I built off of recording. So this is kind of the overall theme that I'm going for. I've actually changed it up a little bit since recording this video, but that gives you the general idea of the theme I'm going to go for. So this is the area that we have to work with for this build. So it's going to be a bit bigger of a build for this video, but I hope you all enjoy it. So I'm going to just start up the Island Designer app and then kind of walk you through my decorating. But first, Daisy wants to give me a little present. So for the overall theme for this island, I want it to be kind of Fairycore and whimsical and colorful. And I think I'm going to have most of it up on the second level. I do want to put in some waterscaping over here, kind of like how I had on Wildflower, but it's going to be a bit more detailed. So I'm kind of just running around right here trying to figure out how I want to go ahead and lay down the waterscaping. And it's kind of hard at the beginning of a build to imagine it all at once, but right now I'm just trying to lay down the path for this small little transition area from that bridge over to the left side of resident services. So I'm using this kind of like flowery path, and as always I will have all my path codes in the description of this video. So I'm testing out some different paths for this area. I think I'm going to just keep with this kind of flowery grass path, and so I'm just trying to figure out the shape of the path and how I want it to lead, like in which direction. And then I know on this island I want to have a bunch of different colored hydrangeas, so I'll be planting a bunch of those in. And then I found this really pretty brick path with some kind of blue flowers, so I'm going to have that kind of in between these two paths to mix it up a little bit. So during this build, it was obviously still kind of at the beginning stages of my island, so I do change some things up, like from this build to how my island is now. But I think it's important to try and, especially if you're trying a new theme, like try and just test out different things and see what you like and see what you don't like, because if you don't like it, you can always swap it out later. So that's kind of what I'm doing right here. So now I am just going in and placing some trees to kind of block off the area behind it, and then I'm also trying to use some new items on this island that I haven't used before, so that's been a little bit different for me. And I'm also using a bunch of new colors on this island, like blues and purples. Like I've never really used those on my islands before, so it's just kind of tricky when you're starting a new theme that you've never done, but I'm trying to stick with it. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but for this island, I actually wanted to do this theme for my last island, Wildflower, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't make it work. I think it was because I was struggling with picking out like a color palette. So if you're ever struggling with sticking to your theme or your new theme, definitely try and pick out a couple main colors that you want to use for like flowers, and then try and incorporate those colors with the custom codes you use. That's what I did when I was planning out this island. And another thing I want to incorporate on this island are these cute little ponds. I have a big kind of like lake code and then a bunch of little like smaller water codes, so it just kind of brings in the whole theme together a bit better. So right here I'm trying to figure out how I can connect this river to like the bridge that's over on the side of my entrance. So I'm gonna have to move a bunch of these items around and some of these trees so I can connect it, because like I said, I do want to have a lot of waterscaping. So that's what you'll see me doing here, just removing some of the trees and items so I can go ahead and connect this little river right here to the other side of that waterfall, because I want it to feel like you're walking in kind of like a I don't know, swampy, magical, like forest area. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does, but that's kind of the theme I want the waterscaping to portray. So I'm just trying to round out a lot of the edges for the waterscaping, and of course Daisy is right in my way. I don't know why villagers choose to do this to us, but I have the general shape that I want, and now I'm just going in here and swapping out some of the items and the trees, and then I will go ahead and place some different items back down. I felt that the cedar tree was a bit too dark here, so I replaced it with a hardwood tree, and now I'm just placing in some other items on this little kind of like island right there. And then I will go ahead and come back over here and I'm just going to lay down this little lace mat coat and put the mush partition on top of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that pond coat that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So I really like this coat, and I like all the different details in it. It really looks super realistic. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and place a little glass holder with candle right in the middle there. I just think that looks really cute. And now I'm going to just fill in this area with some more flowers to kind of make it feel a little bit more complete, and of course some more of the hibiscus bushes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and place down a little flower coat there, and look at what I do right here. Like, why did I force myself to place down all of those codes and then kick them up? I don't know. That's why I try to use the whole doing the codes from the custom designs app sparingly, because as you just saw, it didn't work out so well for me. So right now I'm just kind of going in and placing some flowers and some filler coats around this little area right here. I know also I want to have a bunch of mush lamps on this island, so you'll see me incorporating that a lot. And then I will go ahead and start on working on how this pathway will lead to this river right here. So like I had mentioned, I'm going to be using this kind of stone code a lot to break up the grass pathing, and this kind of reminds me of the code I used on Wildflower, except just different colors. So I got that pathing all laid down, and now I'm just going in with some more filler codes and some items. So after I go ahead and finish that area over there, I'm going to go ahead and come back over here and work on decorating this little area that will be leading up to my bridge. So I'm going to just plant a little tree right here and then go in and fill in the surrounding pathing areas with some bushes and flowers and some more filler codes. So right now I am going to just let you all watch me decorate for a little bit, and I will stop back in and let you all know what I am working on. Now we are over on the left side of my island. This is going to be another small transition area. This code right here is actually the code that inspired me to try this new island theme. So I'm going to just work on figuring out the right alignment for laying down this code, and then I will let you all watch for a little bit and check in when I am done getting this code laid down. So I think I have like a general idea or plan of how I like that code right there. I'm just kind of changing up this over here, and now I'm going to try and fill in some of the empty spaces in between these little garden steps. Honestly, I struggled with decorating this side so much when I was building it. I think it was just hard because having the little purple garden steps or hills, whatever you want to call it, be a full space apart, I wasn't sure what to put in between them. So I just kind of came back over here and finished up the terraforming, because I do want to have the bridge that I have on the right side over there lead up to an incline eventually, and I want to have this area a bit more enclosed. So I just kind of took a break and did a little bit of terraforming, and then popped back over to lay down some more codes. And then I realized I hadn't finished this little side area right here, so I'm just kind of going in and filling it in with some bushes. So as you can see, during my speed builds, I kind of hop around a lot to different areas. I just do that because sometimes when I get stuck on a certain area, it's nice to take a little bit of a break. And like I had mentioned, the speed build was pretty difficult for me to try and figure out how to incorporate all of these new items and codes, but it is eventually coming together. So now I'm just placing down a couple more items on this side, and then I'm going to go back over to that first section I was working on and just fill in a couple more spaces, because I planted some trees over here, so I will have to time travel in order for those to be able to go ahead and grow. And I'm just going to place down a filler code right here and then head back on over to work on this other area. One thing that I just wanted to ask you all, for my speed builds, do you usually prefer speed builds that have kind of more talking and explaining what's going on throughout, or do you prefer kind of less talking and more of the kind of just like instrumental music? If you have a preference, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit for this speed build, so I'll be talking a little bit less than I would in my other speed builds, just to kind of gauge and see how this video does with that. I know personally there are times when I want to kind of hear what the creator is making in their build, and other times I just kind of want some relaxing background music on to have while I'm playing Animal Crossing. So now that I have the bridge placed, I'm going to just go in and kind of rearrange some of the decorations on this side that I've been working on, and then I will come back over here and try and finish up this area. So for this little spot right here, I know I want to have a wishing well, so I have this really pretty floral circular code right here. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the placement of it. I think I want to have the well end up being either next to that floral circle or putting it on top of it. So I'm just playing around with the placement of the items. And then I just dropped a little like 100 bell on the floor, so it looks like a little coin you can toss into the wishing well. So now that I have most of this area finished up right here, I just wanted to move that floral circle over one tile. So I'm just doing that right now, and then filling in the rest of this area with some brick pathing. So right now I'm gonna head back to the front area in front of resident services and work on that area for a little bit. So I have this pond pathing I'm going to be using, and then I have this kind of fake bridge code that I'm going to be using as well right here. So you'll see me working on that right now. So now that I have the little path pond all laid out how I want it, I'm going to just head back over here, and then I'm going to do a little bit of terraforming to just kind of enclose this area right here. So you'll see me do that. I just sped up the terraforming a little bit because it was quite a lot of terraforming. And then all I really have left to do is connect this area right here next to the bridge, and then go ahead and go back in and decorate with some items. This was one of my longer speed builds. I think it was because I was just adjusting to this new theme and working with new items and codes. It's just kind of tricky, but I think I kind of got the hang of it towards the end of the build. But I hope you all are enjoying this video, and if you have made it this far into it, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I post speed builds, island tours, and kind of design tips and trick videos several times a week, so be sure to subscribe if you are interested in content like that. For now, I'm going to just finish up this little transition area over there, and then I will stop back in and let you all know what I am working on. So now that I have the main pathing laid down right here, it's just kind of a matter of going in and making some small changes to the areas and then filling in that big empty space on the left right there. So you'll see me doing that for a couple more minutes in this video. So right here, I'm going to do a little bit of terraforming to figure out the second level right up here where I'm going to have the incline eventually lead to, and then I'm going to just go in and plant some more bushes and lay down some more codes. So right here, I'm just doing a little bit more terraforming on this cliff that will be the second level back here. Just to give it a little bit more of a realistic feel, I wanted to have a waterfall going down here to connect into this river. So for whatever reason, this little area right here, again, took me such a long time to figure out how to decorate. It was just such an awkward little space, and those are the areas that I struggle the most with. So at first I'm trying to test out this brick code, and it looks okay. I don't love it right here, and I'm trying to use the pansy table, but I'm not sure it looks good with the mush log in the background. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm just kind of experimenting with some new items and seeing how I like them. So I end up going ahead and putting a Zen cushion down there, and we'll just leave that area for the moment, and then I'm going to just place down that little upside down book code, and then I'm going to move this bush and replace it with a purple one. And now I actually decided to come back and change up this area a little bit more. Like I said, I just wasn't totally feeling this brick pathing at all, so I'm just placing down a couple more items to kind of get the layout of items that I like. So since I couldn't find a good layout for items, I just decided to add in a little bit of waterscaping instead of worrying about getting the perfect layering of items. And then I took a goldfish and I placed it in that container that it comes in. I'm a really big fan of that. It looks so pretty. So now I just came back over to my entrance and I'm gonna just do this waterscaping a bit differently and then lay down this fake bridge code so it has a little space in the middle, and then I will go ahead and show you all the final walkthrough for this area. Alright, so I'm going to just start at my entrance. So this was the part that I did go ahead and build off of recording, but it leads up to the area that we worked on in this video, so I just wanted to show it to you guys. So we have this little diagonal bridge that will take you to resident services, and then off on the right here we have that kind of like fake bridge code right here, right in front of resident services. And then if we head back over this way to the left, this will be the beginning part of the area that we worked on for this speed build. So this was quite a difficult speed build for me, if I'm being honest. It was just different working with all of these different colors and codes, but I have a lot of ideas for this island just based off of this speed build. So I'm really excited to kind of take you all on this journey with me of exploring this island. But if we cross over that bridge, there is the incline that we made, and then this will lead down to the other transition area that will end up taking you back to my entrance. So I think it came together quite nicely. I really leaned on using a lot of the hedge standees and grass standees to fill in those little kind of awkward spaces, but like I said, it was really difficult, but I really enjoyed building this. And then we have just like the little wishing well over on this side to the left. But other than that, I'm going to just go ahead and head back to the right, and this will lead you to my entrance. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all are enjoying seeing kind of the building process for tealight. It's definitely a lot different than my last island, but I'm having fun with it. It just kind of takes time for me to get used to a new theme, but I'm really dedicated to this theme and kind of seeing it throughout the rest of my island. I hope this build was able to inspire you as well, whether it's to try a new theme or think of an idea for your island as it is. I hope I was able to help some of you, but thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your support, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Other than that, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!